What is up, everybody? Welcome back. We've got Ryan here. We've got a full week of NFL to break down yet again. We're back, another edition, man. Let's get straight into this. We had a great games, great weekend. A lot of shakeup, especially in the AFC. Some interesting stuff in the NFC. Football is good right now, guys, whether it's college or NFL. Football has been producing a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of parity in this league right now, whether it's good quarterback play, whether it's good team play overall. I couldn't tell you who's going to even be in the Super Bowl today. I don't see any clear favorites. It's been great. And, after another weekend of some relatively close games and surprising upsets, we'll get straight into this. And but this is like my least favorite part of the week, obviously. We haven't had to deal with this yet, Ryan, as Dolphins fans, but when we have to headline the show with a Dolphins loss, that doesn't thrill any of us here, as biased as we may be, but to rip the Band-Aid off, so to speak, Stephon Diggs, 3 touchdowns in a single game against the Dolphins. Bills absolutely crushed the Dolphins 48-20. I mean, after a performance like this, for the time being, I think we can all at least debate the question, had the Bills emerged as a new AFC favorites? Ryan, what do you think?
I mean, not really in my book. Obviously, we did get beat. I mean, this is a team that just threw 4 interceptions and lost to Zach Wilson 3 weeks ago. And they always play the Dolphins tough, especially in Buffalo. Remember, the reason they're in Buffalo this early in the season is because last year they complained that they're in the sun this early in the year. Let's see how they play when they come to Miami. Let's see when they play when they're out of Buffalo.
On a road environment later in the season.
Week 18. That could be for the division. It's the last week of the season.
I think it will be.
It is. That's our last game, and they haven't even put a date or time. Both could change. So that might be a night game, which I know the Bills would love, but it's still hot. It's still hot.
Yeah, it ain't Buffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah. So, and that one Stephon Diggs touchdown was ridiculous. Like, we just forgot how to tackle.
The defense is just in shambles.
I mean, I don't.
Like, what is going on?
I don't know. I thought that Patriots game, they started to get momentum. Denver game. Remember, Chargers game, Patriot game, Denver game.
Well, now we got to look at the quarterbacks that we played against.
Like they're giving up less and less points, look better and better. Denver game, 7 of those points were off a kickoff return.
Exactly. So you can't really count it.
And then you're back to week 1 defense, but worse. Bills could have put 70 on us. I'm not even joking.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And then it seems like what went from momentum to like now we have to go back, and instead of seeing this as decrease in points due to like the momentum of our defense, now we just have to look at the fact that this is at the moment not a good defense that played bad quarterbacks, right? Like Chargers, Herbert, Eckler together put up 34. Russ, Mack, Hold'em, Josh Allen. Now we're back up to 48, right? So it's like, and we'll see it in the next 2 weeks.
At least the media likes to portray.
Yeah,
I'm not a Herbert fan, but that offense is high powered.
Yeah, but he's still a good, right? He's still at least a good quarterback. He's very quality
with good receivers as well.
Yeah, and now like got what Daniel Jones and Bryce Young coming up, both at home. So right, we'll see. Hopefully,
there's no excuse for the Dolphins not being 5-1.
Yeah, no excuse.
If we lose one of those games, it's time to panic about the whole season.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Honestly, like any other teams, I'd say don't. But like Panthers are 0-4. Giants
we have easy teams at home. We haven't had this all year.
Giants are the worst 1-3 team I've ever seen. I mean, it's horrible. And we play them. We're right. We play them both at home. We play Daniel Jones. We play Bryce Young. And if we lose to either of those teams, I'd be in panic mode personally because that's just unacceptable.
I think, especially with Tua in the locker room saying, we needed this. Maybe some guys needed to be humbled. Yeah, there's no way we're coming out not firing on Sunday.
Yeah.
Remember, we came out firing this game. We went down the field twice and put up 14 on Buffalo.
The offense was fine in the first, for the first good amount of time. It was the defense. Yeah.
You can't expect the offense to score a touchdown every single drive. And that's what it came down to. And I can't fault Tua. Tua played great. I mean, not the best game. I thought he played fine. But
it was a bad interception, but
when he's played bad, he's played way worse than that. This was still a winnable game with his numbers. The defense is awful. I mean, hopefully we'll have Phillips back on the edge.
We're missing Phillips and Ramsey, but still, I mean, it's just unacceptable.
But and Deshaun Elliott, I think, game time decision where he was out was big because he's been our starting safety. And Brandon Jones He doesn't look like he did last year. He's still,
No,
recouping. Big thing. We need Connor Williams back at center. We
100%,
cannot have
100%.
Eichenberg hiking the ball. Connor Williams isn't the best either, but Connor
No,
Williams
but
can
he's
block.
very serviceable.
Connor Williams can block.
Yeah,
Eichenberg
100%.
can't hike or block. And Armstead, they already said, is we might as well just act like he's not on the team.
Well, I mean, and I was texting with some people like during the game, conversating and trying to get different point of views and opinions before I make mine. And someone said this to me, and I agree with it wholeheartedly at this point. It pains me to say it, but it feels like Toronto Armstead has just passed his expiration date in football in
I
the
think
NFL.
he'll be an off-season
Has to be. When he's
departure.
on the field, he's good, and you can tell the difference of when he's
But we
on the field
can't,
versus off.
with
But he's just never on the
with
field.
our quarterback especially, who is injury prone, you cannot have the most valuable position not playing.
Well, technically, the most valuable position for him is right tackle.
I
Because
guess, but
that's his
we paid
blind
all that
side.
money for
Yeah,
Teron.
yeah, yeah.
Total
As
left
we should
tackle to
have.
protect them.
It was a great move at the time, but it's like the guy's never on the field, and it's been his
No.
problem forever, and
Batista
it's
Lamb's been
a
great
nightmare.
in his spot. Let's not forget
Yeah.
the O line. Other than this week, which they had 2 injuries and one came in mid game, we've had the second best O line in football.
And it's not even that O line has played great. It's just that Tua's getting the ball out so ridiculously quickly is that they don't have the chance to play
And they're
back.
making holes for the run game, which is good.
Yeah. And I mean, it's bad. I mean, what's your opinion on Vic Fangio right now? Because that's another question I want to ask.
I don't know what's going
Mixed
on.
opinions. He was
Why
such a
haven't we
hype.
seen Cam Smith?
I don't know.
He's
I couldn't tell
beating
you.
me on Apple. Like,
And I'm not gonna put it all on Cater Kohu. Like he just simply is not built for that moment against Diggs. But that's also not.
who can't be guarding wide receiver once.
Here's the thing. That's not his position. He's not an outside DB. He's a slot.
He's a,
But and that's where he's gonna play when like Needham and Ramsey come back. But it's like, 'cause we don't have
one
either.
thing I will say, we did not hear Xavier Howard's name called a lot. He was
Which I don't
doing
understand why he wasn't guarding Diggs. But
no, but who he was guarding, he wasn't getting cooked, so that was good.
yeah, I
That
mean it
was
was
one
Gabe
bright
Davis.
spot.
So I'd hope not. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Vic Fangio was supposed to be this great defensive coordinator, all-season hire. And, like, look, we're early in the season, so I'm willing to chalk this up to just he needs time to gel. He needs his guys to get back healthy.
System or
Right.
whatever.
You got to get acclimated to a new system. Look, I can understand that, and I can live with that. So, I mean, do you think that's what it is, or do you think we're dealing with a bigger problem here than
I
just
hope so. This guy's a Super Bowl winning defensive coordinator. Why would
Yeah.
our team be the only one that doesn't work?
With personnel? Like, we have personnel. We have
With
Poland,
stars.
Ogba, Chubb, Ramsey. There's guys all over the field.
At
I
every
just feel
single
like they haven't
level,
clicked.
we have potential Pro Bowlers. Every
Yeah.
single level of the defense.
I mean, we're not exactly the 49ers on defense, but damn, we got guys.
I agree.
I mean,
I'm giving it time. I think these 2 weeks we bounce back.
yeah. And
Especially
look, it
defensively.
is September at the end of the day. We're still in September. I still give the guy time. I'm not in panic mode. If we win the
But
next
remember,
game,
look at McDaniel's system last year to this year.
yeah, but I can argue that it takes a little. It's quicker for offense to show immediate improvement than it is defense. Not only that, but we also have to remember that this system did go through its struggles last year on offense, right? Like we had the big losing streak, even when Tua was in and out. We had rough games against 49ers and Chargers where he was healthy.
On the
So
road
there's
to those
always
2 weeks in California. Those were
exactly, yeah. The California trip that just deflated us for the rest
that
of
was
the
the
season.
season.
Yeah, that was.
And then we came
Yeah.
home for Christmas. He got concussed. Played the game, and that's why he threw 3 straight interceptions.
straight
He was actually concussed. So, yeah.
I mean, yeah, we just for now I'll be under the assumption that look, it takes time. This coordinator's got to get adjusted. We'll be 5-1, no reason to panic, and we'll bounce back before we enter that tough period of the schedule.
Yeah, 5-1, I'll be happy with, and I don't think.
And it's better than we
Still, we're
projected,
not
right?
5-1.
Like this is better than we were expecting. I think we at least most
If you
of us.
told me 3 road games were 3-1 against those teams, it's the fact that your last game was a loss, and it's the sting. It's your rival, and you got embarrassed.
Like I think coming into the season, most Dolphins fans probably would have expected 2-2 in this range. Really,
I wasn't expecting 3-1 personally.
No, I was worried that they were going to lose to the Chargers. Yeah. So I mean, we'll see. It's going to be.
You want to know the teams that have given up more points than us on defense?
Yeah. Let me hear it.
Denver,
Chicago.
2 more.
Yeah, Chicago.
NFC East.
Oh no, really? Giants.
Well, Denver, Chicago.
Denver, Chicago, Giants.
NFC East again.
Commanders,
Yep.
which is weird because they have a good record for having given up so many points.
1-3, 0-4, 1-3, and 2-2.
And they just took the Eagles to overtime too, so it's like a incredible 2-2. But it's rough, and we'll see what this coordinator does over the next few weeks, and we'll see how the Dolphins bounce back. These next two games are winnable and important, so it's going to be a crucial look for us to formulate our outlook on
Win
the rest
out
of
these two.
Yeah, I mean, and with that, we'll move on from this subject. We're both of our biases are going to get in the way, and we'll probably spend more time on it than we should. The Thursday night game, going all the way back to the first game of the week, Lions took on the Packers in Green Bay and came out on top in a convincing 34-20. Really wasn't even that close. And Ryan, I mean, we look at this team. They're 3-1 now. Good win over the Chiefs. One when they're supposed to. In Green Bay, like they've got the wins. They're looking good. They're not even fully healthy yet. Like, is this team a dark horse contender in the open NFC? I know we've got some powerhouses at the top,
100%.
but can the
I
Lions
didn't end
still
up
be able to
watching
compete?
this game because I was at the Drake show.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I said, I saw that people said it was close, and I'm like, I mean, they won by 2 touchdowns, and then I went and kind of watched some highlights. 27-3 at half. They were
Yeah.
killing them.
Yeah, they were. It wasn't even close.
I think they can easily win their division, but
They should. 100%.
dark horse to win the NFC, I don't know if I can see it. I can see me in top 4 in the NFC, but I don't know about win.
Yeah, I think they'll easily win their division.
Yeah, I think this is their year. They've already beaten the Packers, have a head-to-head. They're better than the Bears are in that division as well, right? And then
Bears, Vikings.
The Vikings are just I don't know what's up with that. It's their division to lose. So
yeah, it is 100%. And I mean, I gotta say, I kind of disagree with you, honestly. When we look at the NFC as a whole and we look at the top, you've got your 49ers, you've got your Eagles, and you've got Cowboys. Those are your 3.
Yep.
No reason the Lions shouldn't be 4. And then, but when I look at the Eagles and the Cowboys, both of them have been so susceptible to getting beat so far. The 49ers are 1, and I think they're in their own category, frankly. The Eagles are playing like they're in a Super Bowl hangover still from losing.
Yeah, I don't know how they haven't lost.
You got the Patriots went on a potentially game-winning drive or a tying drive at least, and got stuffed. Good job, you stuffed them. But
Commanders should have gone for 2.
Mm-hmm. And then you had the Commanders just took you to overtime and were driving down the field to win.
They could have won if they went for 2. I don't know why Ron Rivera didn't pull the plug.
Well, I mean, you lose if you miss it, but
yeah.
But again, the Commanders took you to overtime. Like, you were getting played close. Like, you had one good win against the Bucks, and this really felt like it so far for the Eagles. And you are 4-0, I get it, but it has not been the prettiest 4-0 that I've ever seen. Yeah. So, I mean, look, the NFC is open. I think the 49ers are the clear favorite.
100%.
But there's no reason the Lions, once they get Jamison Williams added to that offense because his suspension got shortened, there's no reason that they cannot be competing. 6 games before, yeah.
Oh, 6.
But that means that he's eligible to come back, like, what, next week, right?
This week.
This week, yeah. I don't think they're going to bring him back.
Apparently.
Who?
Cooper Kupp for the Rams.
Yeah, I don't know if either of them are actually going to play this weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Jonathan Taylor and all them are off the, pup. And Dolphins have Jeff Wilson.
But we don't really need. We got
No, but we could use him to trade for a defensive player. That's what I'm saying.
Right? Yeah. I don't know if anyone would give up anything for him, but maybe just a later round.
I heard one of the Dolphin reporters talking about maybe for those 4th and 1 power runs. Wilson's a power back like that.
Yeah, he could have his own role.
But I think he definitely is trade bait for us.
Yeah, probably. I just don't know what we get.
He's a good running back.
Yeah,
he's good.
Sure. So. But I mean. Yeah, as far as the Lions go, look, I think they can compete. I think they're going to Jared Goff has been good. This defense is improving rapidly. I know they had some tough injury losses with C.J. Gardner-Johnson, but this is an improving offense with a good coach and a good quarterback in an open conference. I get it. The NFC is underrated, and we'll talk about this more. I think the Seahawks are proving to be threats. Obviously, the Lions. You've got a lot of good teams forming. But I think they can compete. I really can. I think they can play with anybody.
The Cardinals have competed in every single game. Win or loss.
For real.
Win or loss. They've been there. They've been there.
They've been right there, and then they won. They went out and won a game.
And they played the Bengals this week.
I think they might win. I really think they might win.
I do too.
Hey, speaking of the Bengals, I mean, Joe Burrow plays on the calf again, continues to struggle with that lingering injury, and the Bengals fall to the Titans in a 27-3. Let's call it what it is. That's a blowout. I mean, look, we've been debating for weeks, and everyone in the media has been debating for weeks. Is it time to sit Joe Burrow, Ryan? Is it?
I told you a week or 2 weeks ago they need to sit him
You did.
for their stretch of bum teams. We talked about Rams Monday night at home. Not that they're a bum team, but
You should win.
could have sat them.
Yeah.
They should have still won with their defense. The Titans, the Cardinals. Those were the three stretch. You play them hurt against the Rams, barely win. You play them hurt against the Titans, get blown out. Now you're playing in Arizona, you might still lose that too.
I think so.
Then you have the big boys. The Seahawks look good. They have the
They do.
Seahawks,
They really do.
the Niners, and the Bills.
That's another 3 losses in a row.
That's 3 losses in a row, potentially.
Potentially. I agree.
After potentially dropping to the Cardinals this week.
I mean, it's bad, man. I
They
mean,
could be 1-7. They could be 2-6 or 1-7.
Right, and then when you get to that 2-6, 1-7 point, what are you doing? Like, are you going to play Burrow?
And then you're going to rest Burrow for the rest of the year, which if you would have rested him early, you would have had a chance for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, if you rested him early, got some wins, you'd be in a better position. But if you go 1-7, 2-6, you're not competing for a playoff spot. So are you just playing Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and all these guys to risk the injury? I mean, at that point,
what do you pay him for?
Right, exactly. And then look, I mean, if you sit him and you get a good pick, like this is a good draft. You don't have to go for a quarterback, obviously, to replace the new guy you just signed, obviously, in Joe Burrow. There's great offensive linemen in this draft. I think 2 or 3 are going to go in the top.
They need to put around Burrow.
Exactly.
Remember, that's why he almost died his rookie year. They picked Chase, which I'm not saying it's a bad pick, but they could have had Penei Sewell for.
And whatever. It worked out for them in the end. He made it to the Super Bowl. You're in the
every year. Why is he hurt? Because he gets lit up all the time.
Yeah, and they spent money, and the money's just not working out right now. But look, you get to the top of this draft because you get a good pick. You have a bad year, whatever. Joe Burrow's young enough; he'll live. You'll play another year. But there's good offensive linemen. I think about 3 are going to go in the top 10, at least 2. If you want to put if you want to add a defensive piece to replace what you've lost on the defense, either way, you have better draft picks to use on better players to put around Joe Burrow.
Their defense is solid. They need to work on the O-line around Burrow, in my opinion.
Yeah, O-line is top priority. And then add a couple pieces on defense and you should be set. But it's just like, why is this guy still in the game? I don't understand now. I get it, you want to win. And now they're in the game.
Because they already made that choice. They're going to have to keep playing him until he breaks something or is out for the year. They already made the choice that we're not going to rest him against the bums.
Now that they've made that choice, we have to judge him based on how he's playing on the field. It's only right that we judge him based on how he's playing. And he's playing terrible.
I watched a clip on Twitter. It was showing that Burrow right now is a one-read quarterback because he's not mobile. And the
he can't run. He can't get out of the pocket.
He can't roll out. And what do you think the Cardinals are going to do watching that tape?
Send everybody. It's rough. It really is. And I mean, you just don't know where you feel like you really messed it up if you're the Bengals. You do. You got to feel like you messed this up. And I don't know where you go. I mean, you got to just at some point decide that the guy can't play. Because now we got to judge him. And now we got to tell him, not tell him, obviously, but we got to, put it out there that he's just not playing great. And if you're telling me that he's healthy enough to play, then I have to acknowledge that he just got paid and now he's taking a massive step back. And that's just not a good sign if you're a Bengals fan.
No.
But
I mean, at this point, they made their bed. Now you got to lay in it.
Yeah, I mean, and look, like you said, they're playing the bum teams, and then they've got the good teams, and it's going to be a mess for them. But hey, speaking of good teams, this week, guys, we are debuting a new segment on this channel, on this show that we've been doing, a new segment called Ryan's Rankings. Basically, Ryan's going to give us his top 10 teams just after last week. This does, based on what he saw last week. Who are the top 10 teams? I'm really excited to see this. I have not seen his list. And then I'll basically just tell him what I disagree with on the list.
And I'll go one-on-one. We can kind of talk through it. So
you got to give me each one.
I don't think you should have any issue with this. San Francisco number 1.
From 10. Oh, you want to start from 1 or you want to start from 10?
We do 10 up.
Let's work it backwards. We'll start from 10.
Yeah, but regardless, everyone I think knows.
Yeah, we already know.
Yeah. At 10, I have Seattle.
I can agree with that.
I think they're easily top 10. So, no debate on that. I have Tampa at 9. Now, that is dependent on Mike Evans. If he's hurt, they're out of the top 10.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Based off just what I've seen currently, Tampa 9. Their only loss to a 4-0 Eagles.
Yep.
Dallas at 8.
Wow. Okay, that's a little low for the Cowboys.
But they played Bailey Zappi and McCorkle, right? That's his legal first name. Look it up.
Yeah, no, everyone in the media has hopped on the McCorkle train.
Trayvon Diggs is going to hurt them, and he's going to be the reason they don't win the Super Bowl this year. Him being out. I still love Dallas. They're still a top 4 team in the NFC, but I'm not completely sold yet. I got Detroit at 7. I like
Agreed.
Detroit over Dallas right now.
Yeah, I can go with that.
I got Baltimore at 6 because of injuries.
Fair.
Ton of injuries. I have Miami at 5.
Reasonable.
Which, even as a Miami fan, I know in the national media, Stephen A. Smith took us out the top 5, but the rest of the team and Shannon Sharp were saying, oh, they're number 3. Until they prove me wrong the next 2 weeks, I'm putting them at 5.
That's fair. I can live with
They're
that.
going to prove me wrong, though, and then they'll be back.
They better.
I got Philly 4.
Okay.
Buffalo 3. And then Kansas City 2, San Fran 1.
Wow. Okay. Lost me a little bit in the top 3. I'll be honest.
Talk to me.
What are you basing the Chiefs over the Bills from? I know I'm more of a Bills fan than anybody out there.
Let's play the Bills right now. Chiefs beat the Bills.
I don't think so.
The Chiefs' only loss is to a Detroit team, which is pretty good. The Chiefs are starting to get back in rhythm, right? The Bills lost to the Jets.
Are they starting to get back in rhythm? They just played a Jets team 23-20 against Zach Wilson.
The Bills lost to that team.
What have they done since then, though?
Who?
Bills. It's momentum for me. Like, I've seen the Bills demolish everybody they played since then, and I've seen the Chiefs play a close game each week.
Kansas City and Buffalo both lost week 1. They're both on 3-game winning streak.
I mean, yeah, but I gotta look deep. When I look at Kansas City's winning streak, I look at a close win over a decent Jacksonville team. The Bears. Throw it out. It's the Bears.
It's a freebie.
And then a 3-point win where, like, you couldn't even tell who was going to win over the Jets. And then I look at the Bills. Now. What?
What Buffalo doesn't have. Buffalo does not have Patrick Mahomes. Josh Allen doesn't have that him in him. I still got Kansas City over Buffalo.
Maybe, but I look at Buffalo and I just look right now and I just see they've demolished.
Your top 3, you'd have 2 and 3 flipped and keep San Fran 1.
Yeah, San Fran's undebatably 1. Yeah. I would just flip Buffalo, Kansas City, and other than that, I feel like we could basically have the same list. I mean, I would maybe drop the Ravens a little bit lower just because that suspect loss to Colts.
Yeah, but I mean, they were so hurt. Like,
yeah, it was the injuries played a huge part, and I agree.
With like 12
I think we got the same list, really.
Team day inactive list.
Yeah, but that 2 and 3 is an interesting spot.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Ryan. That's been our debut for Ryan's rankings. Obviously, we're going to keep working on that segment week in and week out, but I'm interested to see how the week changes throughout the rest of the year. You know, is San Fran going to stay at 1? Is some new teams maybe going to jump into the top 10 that we aren't expecting? And
we'll jot these down for this week, so next week when we pull it up.
Yeah, who moves in that wasn't there before? Who moves down? Who moves up? I'm excited to see. But with that being said, we'll finish off these last 2 games before getting into our week 5 picks. Texans and Steelers, we don't have to spend a crazy amount of time here. I just wanted to show CJ Stroud some love. And in a game that, Ryan, I'll spoil the picks a little bit. You picked the Texans to win this game over the Steelers, and I just got to show CJ Stroud love. I mean, we both were talking about how Ohio State QBs do not always pan into the NFL. CJ has been amazing. Not a single.
He might be the best one so far.
Yeah, 100%.
4 games in.
100%. He's thrown no picks. I mean, he's thrown over 1,000 yards already. He doesn't have crazy weapons around him. Not a crazy O-line. I mean, and they're competing. They're 2-2. They've been close in almost every game. I mean, I'm just so impressed with this kid. Ryan, what did you think about this game? What were your takeaways? And do you think this may be a little outlandish to say right now, but can CJ Stroud lead the Texans to the playoffs this year?
They would have to win their division.
Can they?
I don't think they're a wild card team.
Do you think they can win their division?
Not if Jacksonville wakes up. I think Jacksonville eventually will wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Starting hopefully this week. So
yeah, right. This would be the perfect time.
So, but I'm not going to count them out. They're not going to be at the bottom of the AFC.
No,
if
I don't
anything,
think
they're going to be like the 8th or 9th first man out kind of deal.
I could see that. I mean, like, look, a lot of the teams that we thought were going to be wild card teams are not doing that great, right? We both looked at the Steelers and we were like, okay, maybe this team can slip in. The Raiders, they're not doing great. Chargers are 2-2. So it's a lot of these teams. They're going to be competing right there for the rest of the year.
And let's just take a second to call it what it is. Najee Harris is terrible.
I agree. And it's Matt
Kenny Pickett is
Canada.
terrible.
We can
How
throw
is
all the blame
Najee
on Matt
Harris?
Canada.
How is Najee Harris your leading receiver when he has one catch for 32 yards?
You've got like George Pickens is a good receiver. You have good players on this team.
The Steelers are so bad.
They're gonna be playing. I mean, they're gonna keep a close eye on Drake May, Michael Penix as the rest of the year goes on. Your guy Shador
You
Sanders,
know
your
my
favorite
take
player.
on Pickett. So, not a fan. And they got the Ravens this week. So,
Yeah, I mean, look, that's different. The only reason I'll say that's
if
different is
Stroud's
because
playing like that, what's Lamar going to do to him with Zay Flowers and all that?
right, yeah, I agree. But the only difference I'll say is that we obviously know that AFC North versus AFC North always gets
Yeah, chippy. It's division games.
Right. So that could be closer than I think we would normally predict.
Yeah.
But you're right, man. But the Steelers just so down bad. Texans is where all the talk is at right now after a game like this. I mean, I'm really intrigued by CJ Stroud. I think you give him a little more weapons and keep developing that team. This could be a really interesting.
But I love his receiving core. Nico Collins, Michi, Tank Dell. They have Damian
Tank
Pierce
Dell
and
and
running
Michi
back.
are
If
interesting.
they
Yeah,
keep building on that, that's a top 5 team.
100%. Keep building the O line. Put a little more pieces on the defense. You got Will Anderson.
It's not going to happen in 1 year. Look at Burrow.
No.
His first year, he blew his ACL. They're still garbage. They got
D'Amico
Jamar
Ryan
Chase.
looks like a capable coach.
You start going. You build a defense.
Look at the defense. Will Anderson Jr. and Derek Stingley are two like cornerstones on a defense. Like those are good players.
Perriman's been playing great at linebacker. He's hurt.
Oh, yeah.
He's back this week.
Will Anderson's been a beast so far, dude. His debut has been awesome.
They are going to be like Chicago next year when Chicago has 2 top 3 picks. So, but they're doing both offense in Chicago.
Yeah, I'm really
Caleb declares. So
yeah, we'll talk about Chicago some other time. I just do not have the energy to keep ragging on them this week. Me and you are just so tired of dogging on Justin Fields.
Poor guy. I thought he had it. I
really did too.
I was rooting for him.
I really did too. But I mean, hey, the Texans, we'll keep an eye on them going forward. Hey, who knows? Maybe we're here talking about them again next week after they get yet another win and get a winning record. So I love CJ Stroud. I love what he's doing, and this is gonna be a really interesting team to keep up with going forward. And with that, we'll move to our last game of the day, and a team that it's bittersweet to see just continue to lose the way they're losing. The Patriots just get throttled, every adjective in the book. They get demolished, throttled, every verb, sorry. I mean, 38-3, and it was all the Cowboys defense, like you said, with no Trayvon Diggs. Cowboys defense still just went ham on McCorkle Jones and the Patriots, and it was just not even close.
It was zappy time, I thought, though. I thought it was
Patriots
zappy
are
time.
now 1-3. Speaking of zappy time, that's my question for you, Ryan. I mean, we always talk about how great this quarterback draft is coming up. Is it time for the Patriots to look in another direction? Not in the back of the draft with their very first round pick. Is it time to look for another QB?
Absolutely not. They should keep Mac Jones. They should keep keep McCorkle, keep Zappy, maybe keep Cunningham.
Bill Belichick. He's an underrated player, dude. Malik Cunningham has crazy athleticism. I'm a fan of him from college.
I do not like the Patriots. Belichick thinks he can out-guru everyone. Keep playing Mac Jones. We'll keep beating you in the division, and it's fun.
As a non-Dolphins fan would answer that question, is it time to move on from McCorkle Jones?
McCorkle Jones should have been never starting. So to answer that question, that's my response.
Well, do you think it's Zappy, or do you think they used the first-round pick on someone?
Dude, no one on that roster is a starting quarterback in the NFL.
No, I don't think they're a starter. I mean, you can give Zappy the chance. Obviously, the kid has potential to a certain extent,
but Teddy Bridgewater, go play a game and lose.
Which quarterback in this potential 24 class do you think would fit best with that system?
I honestly don't know. I would have to.
Do you think Shador, if Shador goes because of all the Brady comparisons, that he would fit in there?
Shador going to Boston? I want you to think about that, and you let me know.
I mean, outside.
Think about the kind of player Shador is.
Drake May would fit perfectly.
Think about the kind of player Shador is. He needs to be in a media-friendly city where he can talk that talk. Like flex a little, like I'm not saying Miami, but Miami's the city. Shador would be loved. The media, the way he plays. First time he does the watch thing in the locker room, Bill's gonna fine him. Like, dude, that's not the
You
culture
think
for him.
Belichick has his eye on Drake May or like a Riley Leonard
I
from
think
Duke, like
Drake
one of
May.
those kind of guys?
Yeah, I can see Drake May.
I mean, yeah, the kid Drake May will be fine anywhere he goes. That kid's great. But I could see him like he feels like a Mac Jones on steroids, honestly.
That's what Bill likes.
Yeah, and we'll continue to assess where the Patriots are at, and obviously we'll assess the draft class as the year goes on and whatnot. But with that being said, I mean, kind of a chill week. Nothing too crazy happened. That's all. Is there anything you want to add before we get into our picks and our recap?
Nah, I just kind of want to know what the picks were from last week. What's the records?
All right. So speaking of the picks and the record, of course, Ryan's gonna be eager to get there because I'll keep it real. He kicked my ass this week. We started our competition last week. We started it in college too, so stay tuned for that coming soon. When we get Michael on the show to see how all of us did. But as far as NFL goes, I got my ass kicked. Of the 16 games this weekend, Ryan predicted 14 of them correctly. And I'll run through them all real quick. Lions, Packers, we both took Lions. It's one for each of us. Jaguars, Falcons, I chose the upset in the Falcons. I was wrong. That's 2-1.
Very wrong.
But then evens back out because Ryan took the Dolphins. I took the Bills. And then Ryan goes right with the Broncos, and I'm wrong with the Bears. He's right with the Browns. I was right with the Browns. I took the Titans. You took the Bengals. You showed some faith in Joey B.
I jinxed them. So that's good.
You were right on the Bucks. I took the Saints. And then you were right on the Vikings. I put a little bit no, sorry, you were right on the Texans. You were showing that CJ Stroud love. I wasn't quite showing it. I took Steelers. I was wrong there. And but that's it. But I went 11 for 16. Ryan goes 14 for 16. Then we look at the locks. You did take Cardinals plus 14. That was your bad beat of the weekend. Missed there.
They
but
almost
then
had it. They were keeping it close at the end. They were getting blown out. Then you got it close. They got it to one touchdown again. And
Dallas defense over 1.5 touchdowns was an insane take. Or sorry, turnovers, but even touchdowns would have hit too. You hit on both.
Dude, I told you, I know McCorkle's going down. I knew it.
And you took the Garrett Wilson under 100 yards, and that hit. And you took the Jets running backs under 100 yards, and I don't know how. I was just looking at the stats before we did this.
They had like 30 yards? Like, they didn't do anything.
No, they had like 90-something, but they had like 7 people running the ball, which amazes me how
they
they
had
had
90
so many
yards? Hold on, I gotta look that up myself. I don't
go
believe
check
that.
the box score.
That's crazy.
And we'll pull up the game so you guys can see.
I watched the game.
Right,
I feel like no one was rushing the ball, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, if we look here, I'll even pull up the Jets for us to where we can see it. I mean, just the fact that they cannot break 100 for the life of them. Look at this. You had Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, Zach Wilson, Xavier Gibson, and Michael Carter all run the ball, and it all culminated to under 100 yards. I mean, that's just so well. So this is 100.
It was near. It was near.
This is, but we have to take out Zach Wilson because he's the quarterback. So
yeah. So it was under. But that's crazy.
I mean, that's
Sam, can you click on Dalvin Cook for me? Click on Dalvin Cook. I just want to see some. I just want to see some. Wait. Up. That says 30 carries for 74 yards, averaging 2.5.
Where do you see that? Where are you looking?
All the way up top.
Oh, I see.
Big box?
Yep.
You see that?
Oh yeah.
Damn, what if I told you?
Yards.
What if I told you Devon Achane has 27 carries, has 309 yards, and 4 touchdowns, averaging 11.4.
What if I told you Dalvin Cook was washed?
But you know what the craziest part is, Sam?
What?
Who do you think leads the AFC in rushing yards?
I think Achane.
And he's played 2.001 games.
Yeah. So, no, he's crazy. He's been absurd. That's why I love this guy. I mean, I'm falling in love with him.
I hope you're enjoying New York, Dalvin.
Because we definitely don't want your ass down here with all the running backs we've got now.
Nah, he picked. He said he wanted the money and the ring. Well, he got the money.
He didn't get neither.
He got the money. That's all I can say.
Well, just so you guys can take a look at all the games and just see, what the picks were, what ended up happening, and all that good stuff. But anyways, I mean, so you did great on all your picks. So you went what? The only one I had a little bit of an issue with is because you didn't really specify for me the Mostert and Achane. Was it 125.5 total yards receiving and rushing combined for each player?
No, I think I said rushing. I'm not gonna lie. I think I said rushing, which I know.
Either way, you would have hit because of Achane alone. But
yeah,
But it was so
I'll
you
be
went
more clear on my locks.
so you go 4 for 5 on your picks in a great showing. I went 3 for 4. I only did one bonus, but I hit on the over .5 Anthony Richardson touchdowns. He got one rushing touchdown.
Yep. He played
Garrett
decent,
Wilson.
and I'm an AR hater. So
Yeah, no, he you know what? He's actually been pretty solid so far.
yeah,
And
way
I'm
better than
impressed,
in college.
100%. And like Garrett Wilson under 6.5 receptions. That was the only one that I missed on. He got 9, so they were
Yeah, but he
feeding
didn't
him.
do anything with them.
No, yeah, it was 60 yards. Ryan Tannehill over .5 interceptions. I took home on that one, and then Kirk
Even though
Cousins
they blew
over
him
one and a
out.
half.
So.
Yeah, and then over 1.5 touchdowns for Kirk. I hit there. Overall, pretty solid week.
Yep.
I do
We
say
both
for
had
both
one.
of us.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely live with that. And with that being
Mine,
said,
remember we said last week the risky one was the Cardinals, even though we are feeling it. You know, at the end of the day.
so that being said, let's get into our week 5 picks. Week 2 of the competition, we've got some okay games this week, I guess. Let me pull them up here so you guys can see. We start with oh boy, is that a Thursday night game? For the record, I mean, oh man,
All right, so we're doing our picks, right?
yeah, we'll get started in a sec. I just need everybody to take in just how great this Thursday night game we've got coming.
Get your pen ready to jot our records down.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Ryan, I'm gonna start with you. Bears Commanders. Who's taking this?
Let's say our answer on 3.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Commanders.
Yep.
No shock there. I mean, nobody is taking the Bears.
I
can
would be
just
shocked if the
assure
Bears
you.
get close.
I don't think it'll be close either. Here's a decent one though. I think this has the potential to be a good game. Jags and Bills.
Jags.
You think I'm gonna take the Bills again. I don't think the Jags have quite woken up yet.
They've been in London for almost 2 weeks. Like, this is their home. The Bills are still flying over. They got to get adjusted. European crowd always
it's an
does
early
good for the
game.
Jaguars.
Right. Oh, I guess this is technically a night game for them, right?
It's 6-hour difference, so it'd be like mid-afternoon.
No. Well, yeah, they're ahead of us.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, they're 6 hours.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so yeah, mid-afternoon game for them. That's fine. Texans Falcons actually could be a decent game here too.
I got the Texans. I went with them
Texans
last
too. I'm a CJ Stroud believer now.
Yeah, I'm believing in the hype.
Panthers Lions.
Lions.
Yeah, this shouldn't be close. I mean, the Panthers. Bryce Young is
this
like
is the second highest line of the week, other than the home team.
I don't think Bryce Young has been that bad by any stretch, but I just think look, Thielen's your wide receiver 1. You've not put a crazy amount of weapons around him. The running game's not quite there. I just look at the defense, and you got Burns, but it's like, what else are you really working with? So I'm gonna take the Lions.
Right?
Yeah, plus the Lions. Yeah, JC Horn's out. Plus Lions at home. If Jameson plays, it's even a whole different story. Montgomery had a crazy week last week. Goff
Regardless,
and
Lions. Regardless.
Yeah, Lions no matter what. But Panthers, hopefully recover. Adam Thielen, I do have you in fantasy. So, Titans Colts.
This line is actually even. Like, it's literally a pick 'em.
It should be as it should. This is a pretty even game in my opinion.
Let's say it at 3. I got to think about it. I don't want any of us swaying the other.
Yeah, exactly. 1, 2, 3.
Titans.
Colts. Okay. That'll be another one to see. I don't know. I can't get behind this Titans. I know you have D-Hop and Treylon Burks.
Dude, it's just feed Derrick Henry. It's all you want to do.
I can't buy it. I don't know. And I don't
I don't know if I buy the Colts, but this game, it's like
in Indy too. So
it's 2 interesting teams. Like, they're probably not both going to the playoffs, but they're both like in that range of not trash and not good.
And it's a divisional game too.
They're existing.
Yeah. Giants Dolphins. We don't got to spend much time here. Dolphins.
Highest line of the weekend, went up by almost 3 points after last night.
I don't know if I hate taking double-digit spreads in the NFL. It's just such a different game than college. But I'll certainly be tempted. I might take like an alternate spread on this and get something like 7.5 maybe. I'd feel better about it, but this should be a handed win. Saints Patriots in the game that nobody will watch. I'm gonna take the Patriots.
I'm gonna take the Patriots, but the Saints are awful and they're awful.
And the Saints have a good roster. I can't quite understand what's going wrong. Yeah, and I don't even know if Derek Carr.
Personally, I'm a root for Kamara to wake up.
Yeah, true. I mean, you get Kamara back, that'll help. I just don't know. What's up with? I don't quite know what's up with Derek Carr.
He's not.
Is he gonna play? We don't even know if he's gonna play this week.
That's what I'm saying. But I personally, I think the Saints could win, but I mean, the Patriots, like, they're
Yeah,
also
I would not
garbage.
be
But
surprised. Ravens.
this should be an even line.
Yeah, it should. Ravens Steelers. What do you think?
I got the Ravens, regardless of the injuries.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the Steelers are just decimated.
You can't root for them after they put 6 points up, even though
And
they're
you can't
home,
win
even
with
though the
Matt
defense
Canada.
is
You
great.
clearly cannot win with Matt Canada as your
No,
guy.
I don't know how he has a job still. This has been since last year that they've been wanting to fire him.
Eagles Rams. Could be a decent game, honestly.
I got the Rams.
Really? Okay, I'm gonna take the Eagles. I think they're still playing it pretty good. That defensive line with Cox
The
and
Rams offense, adding Cooper Kupp this week, if he comes back, regardless of if he comes back, that offense is insane.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, like the offensive line is not insane. You've got Fletcher Cox, you got Jalen Carter, and
Stafford's going to be getting hit.
who's the other pass rusher? Why am I blanking on his name?
Fletcher Cox.
No, not the other guy.
Fletcher Cox, Jalen Carter. What's your name? I know who you're talking about.
I'm gonna pull this up.
Pull up the roster. Click on the Eagles and then pull up there. It sorts by offense, so you got to go to the bottom. No show defense.
Oh yeah, here we go. Who am I looking for here? Oh, Jordan Davis too. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah.
Helping that. Where is it? N'Kobe Dean. Interesting. Reddick. There you go. Hassan Reddick. Yeah.
Hassan Reddick.
How can I forget about him? My bad. Reddick, if you ever for some reason watch this, my bad, dude. I didn't mean it. Keely Ringo. Good. This is literally just the Georgia defense when we go.
I know. It's UGA of the North.
Yeah, but anyways, right.
Like you got to pick some upsets, So I think this is my upset. My
upset is the Colts. I mean, that's my upset.
But I think Eagles haven't looked great, and the Rams are better than the Commanders.
Yeah.
So by that logic, that's why I got that pick.
I guess. Well, Jets Broncos in a game that would have been great.
Remember, the Eagles are going to take over that stadium. All the opposing fans take over SoFi.
Yeah, exactly. I agreed.
If they can afford to fly there.
Bengals Cardinals. This should be an interesting game.
Oh my God!
We were just talking about this.
I got
Cardinals. Are we gonna go all the way and pick the Cardinals?
I have the Cardinals.
I agree too. I'm gonna pick the Cardinals. I really don't see it with the Bengals right now.
Well, that next game, that's very interesting. They got beef with each other.
It sucks because this would have been even better if Aaron Rodgers was
healthy.
Oh,
it'd be even more toxic. The pregame, chirping and all that.
Who do you got, Broncos or Jets?
I have the Broncos.
I think Zach Wilson's going to build on the momentum. I'm going to take the Jets.
Russ is not going to lose to Zach Wilson, bro. He's going to pray to his God to make sure that doesn't happen.
Chiefs Vikings in a game that hopefully turns out to be more interesting than we expect.
Chiefs, but I think the Vikings have a closer shot than probably what people are giving them.
Yeah, I think the Jets, it's a large part of their defense is why the game was close. Vikings are obviously struggling a lot, especially with the pass defense, and I just think with Kelsey and Mahomes, I don't know, I'm really tempted to take the Vikings because I think the offense will play good, really. But I think at the end of the day, that defense just is not going to be able to get enough stops. I think that, I just think they're going to come away with it, and Mahomes is just going to grab that win. So I'm going to take the Chiefs too, but the Vikings are a tempting pick, I will say that. And then the Sunday night... Sunday night primetime game, Cowboys-Niners rematch of the playoffs. This should be great.
I actually really have the Niners, and one of my locks of the week, not to get ahead of myself, is San Francisco -4. 100%.
That's a good pick. I'm going to take the 49ers too. So really not too much disagreement from us this week. I'd say Jets-Broncos is where we really disagree. Rams-Eagles. And then there's a couple other spots, higher up like Colts-Titans and Jags Bills, but so there's some, but I think in the large part we're in agreement this week. It feels like
the Packers in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers too. I don't know if Jimmy G plays, and even if
and Devontae Adams kind of like he's about to request a trade, and
yeah, so it does not look great. I can agree with you. Packers there. Jordan Love has been great in the second half. It's just those first halves have been rough. But yeah, so we're in large part in agreement this week. So now to move to our locks before we wrap up this episode. I know it's a long one, guys. Just stick with us because these picks are always a great part of the episode, even when they do drag. Ryan, just give me 3 locks for this week, man. What are we looking at here? I know you said Niners -4.
A-Chain over 100 total yards.
A-Chain over 100 total
rushing
yards.
Plus receiving over 100. I think he might get RB1 reps this week.
He might. He very well might. And then what's
Over
your last
100 total scrimmage yards.
one? What's your third?
So I had San Francisco -4.
Yep.
Let's see.
Is it 4 or 4.5? Where are you going with this?
Right now, the line's 4.
Okay, 4 flat.
The line is at 4. Trying to see if I want to do a player prop. If I want to do.
You gotta throw one. Actually, you got one of each. Honestly, you can go either way with this.
Hey, do you have yours? I'm gonna look around for my third. If you want to start yours, or the ones you're 100% on.
Yeah, though, as far as I'm 100%. I mean,
I got my third one. Justin
yeah, give me a
Fields
third one. Give me a third
over
one.
1 turnover, either fumble or interception. Not that
Yeah,
I'm wishing it on him. I
that
just
feels
know
like a lock.
the Commanders are a beast.
As far as my locks go, Saints Patriots. I'm really tempted to take the under. I'm just gonna go New England money line.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Tua over I'll start at Tua over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think there could be more rushing touchdowns than people
Yeah, I
expect.
agree.
A-Chain and Mostert. So
Like
I'm gonna
the
say,
last time we played Denver, we were just running it in instead of.
yeah. So I'm gonna say Tua over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and then
Add
so
a
I have
bonus. Hill over. I don't know if I want to do yards, but I know he's gonna have a big game coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, you would
he
think.
he's not gonna be quiet. I'd say Hill over 6.5 receptions because his average is 28 through 4 games, so 7, 4, 21, 28. So how about this? Hill 7+. So if either 7 for a push or above, because that's what his average is. He's averaging 7 a game.
You think you're gonna say 7.5 receptions?
I had 6.5. I would just say over 7 because
Okay.
he's had 3, 9, 5, and 11. I think this game he's at least over 7.
All right, so that's a good bonus. For my third one, I'm gonna do C-Mac over 0.5 touchdowns. Just get one touchdown at any point. He's hit this 13 games in a row, so let's hope I'm
The
not
first time
jinxing
he did it was the Dolphins game when we
Yeah, but I mean,
introduced Brock Purdy to the world.
dude is just an insane beast. Like it's I can't even state like how crazy this guy is.
And he's
then
healthy. He's finally healthy.
because you did a bonus, I'll do a bonus too. For my bonus, I'll go out. I'll go on a limb a little bit. I'll say
Wait, go
Anthony
down. Does that
Anthony,
say tickets for the Bengals Cardinals starting at $19?
yeah, as it should, bro.
That's crazy. And that
I mean,
shows Joe Burrow's
43.
aura is gone. You know?
For me, I think I don't know. I think I'll say, I'll put a little faith in Anthony Richardson. I'll say over 2 touchdowns combined. So I'm gonna say he gets one rushing,
and
one
passing.
passing.
That's a good one.
So over 1.5 combined TDs. Yeah, there you have it, guys. Those are our picks for this week. It's gonna be looking good. We're gonna keep this competition going. See if I can make a comeback because I find myself in an early hole. So obviously, it's great that we're starting this early in the season. We've got so much left to play with. Ryan, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
The Finns are gonna get it done this week. They're gonna get it done the next week. Be 5-1 going into Philly on Sunday night, and they're not gonna hurt me again. They're not gonna hurt me again. Not yet. Not these 2 weeks. They'll hurt me again. Don't worry. But
I agree. Fins up, man. Like we're all rooting over here. We'll obviously be talking about him every week. I'm so excited to see what happens. I'm excited for whatever comes out to be a good game this week. And I can't wait to see the rest of you guys next week. As always, like, subscribe, comment what you want to see more of, turn those notifications on. Thank you so much for the support as usual. Ryan, thank you as always for coming on. And we will see you guys soon. Hopefully college football coming out day after this one ideally. So we'll see you guys then. Peace out.